Great morning, holy brothers! Today is Wednesday, December 20th, and we are learning our pathway to peace from the Garden of Peace. And we are about to start moving up a level where we left off yesterday. Here we go. We were talking in the middle of a story. What was the story? What was the story that we were in?
Where the guy...
Yeah?
He married this woman who the rabbi said, don't marry.
He said, don't do it.
And then he's like, I want a divorce. And he said, no.
And he's like, this girl is so hot. I want to be married to her. She's going to be the best thing in my life to have all around me all the time. And guess what happened when he got married to her? Oh, boy. The worst thing ever. And then he went to the rabbi. What do I do? How do I get divorced? What can I do to get her out of my life?
I think he's talking about Gedalia Fenster.
And the rabbi said, nope. The rabbi said, you do not divorce her, my friend. You married her against my will, but now that's it. There is no way back for you because she is going to be exactly your tikkun. She's going to get you where you need to be in life, and now it's time to put your hispodidus to the test. So
the Italians call it, she has the right legs, the wrong mouth.
Okay, you heard it from the horse's mouth. Okay, so he did his podas hours a day, not 1 hour, hours and hours every single day. He said, please God, help me refrain from comments. Please God, help me not to criticize her. Please God, help me to honor her, to make her happy, and believe this is for my best. And guess what? He started having the most peaceful marriage with her. Unbelievable. But now, the story is not over. Now we continue. 1.5 years passed in this life when he was married of peaceful and harmony like you wouldn't believe. And then one day...
Who gained weight that 1.5 years?
Who gained weight, him or her?
The husband, what?
From her great cooking. So 1.5 years went by, and then all of a sudden, at the rabbi's door, who's there? It's me again! Oh, his favorite person. One night, came up to the rabbi with a new problem. Dear Rabbi, thank God, thank you, that I now have peace with my wife. I'm not perfect, but I'm having an amazing relationship with her. And I understand having to act. There's no longer a problem in that respect. I have no difficulty in coping with whatever she does to me. Because when I look at her and I hear from her, what do I hear and see? God. Hashem. As we literally just spoke about in our Hispodidus class right before this. I hear and see Hashem in the world around me. There is nothing other than God. The 2 steps to Emunah are what? Say it that we just said.
Faith and trust.
One is faith. You understand that everything is God. When you get stuck in traffic, you're not mad at the cars around you. You're not yelling at the old grandma who's not pressing on the gas. You say, everything is God. How can I be mad at a person when Hashem is taking these cars and shoving them in front of me? I need to get there 45 minutes late. That's Hashem saying you need to be there at this time. You're going to either meet a person or whatever it's designed to be. It's Hashem, not them. Next, what's the second principle?
Everything he does is for the best.
Not only do you not get mad and angry and pissed off and blow your lid, but not only that is that Hashem is doing it for your best, your absolute goodness. So when it happens to you, you're appreciative, you become thankful, you become happy and joyous. Hashem, thank you so much for this traffic right now. Not only am I not mad, I'm happy. I'm thrilled because you know that I need to be here right now. I don't know why. I have no clue. But I'm appreciative. Thankful. Anyway, so this is how...
Should you fake it till you make it?
Why not? Yes. Because in your mind, you know it's God. Right. But you don't know why it's good for you. You might not know ever why. Hopefully we get some insight and some clarity. And then we call those the modern day miracles of how we see God's hand in our life. But
Wait, hold on.
Holding.
I'm just realizing that my timer for the 6 hour b'dadut, I still have 1.5 hours left.
Yeah.
So can I continue after the class, or did I just ruin it?
It's fine. You can pause.
Crap.
I said yes, so you says boo. Okay, anyway. If you ever need to pause, go back to it, leave your time. I don't know if your timer was going the whole time anyway while you're sleeping, but that's fine. Listen, let's get back to the story. So, now he sees God and he sees Hashem in everything she's doing. Unbelievable. I never pay back in kind to how she does or dishes out. On the contrary, when she says something mad at me, I'm good to her, and I lavish her. I buy for her. I compliment her. I'm only good. I lavish things on her without end. It is clear to me that all the suffering that I get from her is straight from Hashem. God, thank you for this suffering right now, because it's all you, and I know for some reason I deserve it. For some reason it's great for me, and it's going to help me get to where I need to be. So, as much as she complains, and she's not happy at things, I accept it with love. And as regards peace in the home, it becomes great and fine, because now she gets happy when I'm happy. She gets appreciative when I'm appreciative. So what's wrong? Rabbi says. I get it. You've come a long way. Yashar koach. Pat on the back. So, the man continues. The problem is, now I have such a desire, now I have a fire to live a Torah life, to live in a Torah community. I want to move to where I'm surrounded by Talmidei Chachamim. I want to move where all my chavrusas are. I want to move closer to the shul. Right? I want to submerge myself in more spirituality. And guess what? Guess who does not want to move?
The wife.
She loves her house. She loves her community. She loves her friends who she spends hours wasting a day with. But I know I'm not supposed to tell her. I know I'm not supposed to argue with her, because this is what she wants. It makes her happy. But for my spiritual growth, for my level upping, what do I do? What do I do? I want to come closer to God, but I feel this is holding me back. Good question for a rabbi. Okay? So please answer me now. If this is the crossroads I'm at, and my goal in life is to come closer to God, isn't she hindering now my process? I know you taught me that everything we're supposed to do is Devekas to Hashem. Everything we're supposed to do is come together like glue, to come closer to our Creator, more to Hashem. And the only thing stopping me now is her. I'm good to her. I get it. And I'm using her as a step stool to come closer to Hashem. But I want more. And I think that my life would be better if I moved. And if she doesn't want to move, okay. So let her stay here. I'll go. We'll go our separate ways. But it's not because I hate her. It's not because I want to divorce her. It's because I want Hashem more in my life. Now, he has the same exact question he had a year and a half ago, but from a different perspective. So now, guess what the rabbi is going to say?
No.
Now you can get divorced.
No.
Of course not! What are you thinking? Out of your mind? Spoiler alert. So, I looked at this now more amazing man, and I've seen how far he's come in his spirituality. I see how far he's come in his marriage. I see how much work he's putting in, how much effort. He has a real good drive inside of him. And he wanted to live a Torah-fulfilled life. Something that before his marriage was far away from his aspirations. Now he's achieving more emunah. To live with a wife who constantly complains and still accepts it all with love was no small accomplishment. You got to give this guy props. You got to give him credit. His personal growth is clear. His whole manner expressed more humility. You could see that when he's beat down, he's using it for goodness. He was now shining more and a delight to look at. Whereas before he was a complete garbage, filth that stunk to the skies. So, I understood with a tremendous lesson that Hashem was teaching me. I'd always believed that whatever Hashem did was for the good. Always. Right? You can get that. You can internalize it. But here it was so obvious without beyond a shadow of a doubt that every single thing is for the best. I thought that by marrying this girl, I told him he was going to make the biggest mistake of his life. That's what I told him. Yet, he accepted the situation with emunah and found faith and looked for messages that God was sending him, and then faithfully set out to improve. The truth became apparent in its greatest glory. Everything Hashem does is for the best. Can you imagine if this guy didn't marry that wife? What kind of life would he be living?
But that's only because he had a rabbi.
Great. Thank God. But the rabbi told him not to marry her.
Right.
He wanted to do it anyway. But the fact that we thought this was bad for him shows you how much God is running the world, how he can use the most negative thing to completely change a person's life around. So if not for the challenges of getting along with that difficult wife, he never would have prayed with the power that he did. He never would have pulled the depths of his heart at such lengths. He never would have worked on himself in the amount that he did. The merit of those heartfelt prayers and his dedicated, extreme, enthusiastic efforts to incredibly improve himself is what brought him here to a holier life, a true life of Torah. Can you imagine now that the rabbi is blown away and experiencing this? And the words coming out of his mouth are saying now he should divorce her? Who brought you here in the first place? How did you get to be where you are today? And now you want to let that go? Do you understand the irony of what's going on here right now? Had he married a God-fearing girl, had he married somebody with a emunah, as I thought he should have, perhaps he would have been done his this. Yes, but guess what? He would have fulfilled that checkbox. He would have done his 1 hour a day, as he was meant to. But it is most likely that that 1 hour a day, instead of his 3, 4, 5 hours that he was pushing with real passion, that 1 hour would have lacked everything that he had. Not only would it have been 5 times more, but the intensity, the passion, the warmth would not have been there. He would have just been going through, checking off that box, trying to fulfill his hour. In terms of Judaism, he would have probably crawled along at the slow pace that he was going at. Yeah, progress, but taking baby steps rather than running like a locomotive, flying out of the sky. Who knows if he might have even taken some steps backwards. He might have gone in the wrong direction. He may have stumbled. He may have sinned more. And we've seen this many times when young couples, enthusiastic for spirituality, all of a sudden they get married. And guess what? Hot stuff. It fizzles out. It wanes away. That romanticism, that lust, goodbye. Now they got to work. Now all of a sudden it's not daisies and butterflies. The girl he married, being the way that she was, gave him that boastful boost for super special spirituality that most zealous Orthodox girls could have ever had for him. In the area of emunah, the most important part of the teshuvah, the most important part of coming back closer to the Creator, he reached levels that few ever could have achieved. He totally corrected these character traits. He took it and he ran with it. He turned them around and used that downward momentum to super spiritually soar. That roller coaster, that momentum, that gravity, that acceleration. He took that and flew up with it. They say tzaddikim fall 7 times. It's not that they fall. It's that they're using that sin, they're using that momentum to grow and fly high. If you could take something that you've done wrong and do real teshuvah, what does the Gemara say? The sins become what for him? Mitzvos! The sins become mitzvos. And people who do Torah lives, they can never have those mitzvos under their belt. They can never have those spectacular sins super shining now with the biggest glows in the world, because now those are massive mitzvahs that are untouchable and unattainable by people who are just good. And they say tzaddikim cannot stand in the place where Baal Teshuvas are, because they have so much power that is unharnessed that they can use to fly high with. He started out, this guy, with a very angry disposition. Now he was the most pure, patient, pleasant person you could ever meet. He accepted his wife's complaints with faith, with happiness. Can you imagine that this guy, who has the most bitter wife, is using that for goodness? Imagine when he goes to the workplace and there are workers or friends that he likes, that he gets along with, and then they say something wrong. Imagine how much good he can use that with. And he hasn't exploded his coworkers now, because he has a much more pleasant attitude about him. He has a much more cool composure within him. So he uses that and utilizes it in all aspects of his life because of what he got from his wife. You hear? He pampered her. He honored her with no exceptions and no expectations of receiving something in return. Even I, when I do good things for my wife, in the back of my mind, I'm like, oh, I'm doing great for her. Maybe now she'll do great for me. And guess what? 99% of the time, but my Yetzer Hara jumps every stupid single time. He gets me. Look, you're doing great. Now she'll want to repay you. Now she'll want to be super nice and thank you. That's my dumbest Yetzer Hara. I'm doing good, but I'm thinking, where's my thank you?
Where's my reward?
Where's my reward? Why are you not appreciating the fact that every night the dishes are done and the garbage is taken out and the floor is cleaned up and the table is wiped? Like, hello? Do you not appreciate what I'm doing? But guess what? If I didn't do it, oh boy, am I going to hear about it. Yes, she appreciates it. Yes, she loves the fact that it's done. But if you're doing it because your Yetzer Hara is looking for that, you're going to be dead in the water. You're going to be miserable. You're going to be souring all your sweetness.
Give without expecting return. Right?
Be a giver.
Giver.
If you're doing it because you want something in return, you're not a true giver.
You're a taker.
You're a taker. You're doing it because you want.
Disguised as a giver.
Yes. The fox in sheep's clothing. Mm-hmm. That is your Yetzer Hara dominating and destroying you. If not for the challenge of having such a wife, he never would have merited all this. We gotta say that these lessons are amazing and wonderful, and the story is super important for every single one of us. But guess what? We're still not done! To be continued. Have an awesome, audaciously amazing day. Beep.